Magandang buhay! Good morning, grade 10. How's your weekend? I hope you enjoyed your break because today you will enjoy our lesson a whole lot more. I am Sir �X𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 familiar? Before we proceed to our discussion, let me tell you first what our learning objectives are to know what are the expected goals in our lesson. For the objectives, at the end of this lesson, the students will be able to, first, distinguish the difference between intensive and reflexive pronoun. Next, to employ intensive and reflexive pronouns in a sentence. And lastly, to compare and contrast the reflexive and intensive pronouns. Next, it's recall time. Let's have a quick review about what pronouns are in order for us to clearly understand reflexive and intensive pronouns. So pronouns are words used to refer to someone or something instead of using a noun or noun phrase, especially when the person or the thing has been mentioned earlier. Examples of pronouns are he, him, her, she, I, yours, theirs, and etc. So, we are done with our mind refresher. Let us now hop to the main discussion to be started by Ma'am Micaela Magdangal. Ma'am Mika.
Thank you, Sir Keanu. So, hello, students. I am teacher Mika, and now that we are aware what pronoun is, let us now proceed to our main topic in today's lesson. What are reflexive and intensive pronouns? Let us start defining the reflexive pronouns first. Reflexive pronouns. This refers to the objects that refer to the subject. This pronouns tells us that whoever performs the action in a sentence is also the one on the receiving end of that action. So for example, I burnt me on the stove this morning. So this is an incorrect sentence. To change it into its proper form, the word me is replaced by myself. Like I burnt myself on the stove this morning. In addition, reflexive pronouns can be used as the direct object, indirect object, or object of a preposition in a sentence. So that's all for the reflexive pronouns. Let us now listen to Mom Zyril, who will be explaining the intensive pronouns.
Thank you, Ma'am Mika. So as stated, I am Ma'am Zyril, and next are intensive pronouns. So what are intensive pronouns? Intensive pronouns are used to emphasize another noun or pronoun. This could also mean that intensive pronouns do not need to refer to that subject. For example, I made a sandwich for the president himself. In this sentence, the word himself refers to the noun president. And based on the sentence example, it is obvious that intensive pronouns are not necessarily needed. Going back to the discussion earlier, here are some points to remember. To identify a reflexive pronoun, we must remember that reflexive means reflect. Next, while intensive pronouns are emphatic appositives, which means they give emphasis to nouns or pronouns. Next would be do not use myself as a subject. It means that using myself as a subject on its own is incorrect. To explain this further, let's use this example. Joe and myself visited our grandfather's grave. The sentence seems right, but it is incorrect. To make it right, replace the word myself with I. Then the sentence will be Joe and I visited our grandfather's grave. And last would be do not use a reflexive pronoun if it is clear that it is reflexive. Now, what does this mean? Let's see some sentence example. I took my dog with myself. The sentence uses a reflexive pronoun, but it sounds not right, which means the word that should be in the sentence instead of myself is me, like I took my dog with me.
That was an exciting exercise. I think you guys are now ready for a short quiz to test your knowledge about our topic. The quiz will consist of two parts, a multiple choice and an identification part. Let's begin. Choose the letter of the correct answer. It is associated with the word reflection because it reflects back at the subject. A. Reflexive pronoun. B. Intensive pronoun. Or C. Mirror pronoun. The purpose of this pronoun is to highlight or give emphasis to a noun or pronoun in the sentence. A. Emphasis appositive. B. Intensive pronoun. Or C. Reflexive pronoun. She made herself coffee. This sentence is an example of A. Reflexive pronoun. B. Intensive pronoun. Or C. None of the above. We can raise the funds ourselves. This sentence is an example of A. Reflexive pronoun. B. Intensive pronoun. Or C. None of the above. Now we proceed to the second part of the quiz. I will be flashing a sentence and you have to write the appropriate reflexive or intensive pronoun that will correctly complete the sentence. What happened was not intentional, okay? You shouldn't blame blank. Joanna blank made all of this for you. Wasn't she the girl who made the sculpture of blank? We could either buy the cake for the party or make them blank. I made blank some breakfast. I don't feel like I am in blank today. She raised the funds for the charity blank. Tony is planting in the garden all by blank. Time is up. Let us now check your papers. If you guys answered it correctly, here are the answers. Great job! Congratulations on completing our lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed and learned about reflexive and intensive pronouns. See you again next time, and for the assignment, create 5 sentences with reflexive pronouns and another 5 sentences with intensive pronouns. Submit your paper at our next meeting.